Radio Free Pensacola. I am Dan, and I have my good friend Timo Snyder from
EAV Rudio on Garage 71.
We are sitting in the green room at 529 in Atlanta with the band Thea out of San Antonio, Texas. Thea are Jen Alva, Letty Martinez, Fanny Diaz, and Sophie Lopez. How are y'all tonight?
Really good.
Awesome. That was good that you got all of our names.
Yeah.
Kudos to that.
Well,
We're
see,
all happy.
like I told you before the interview started, I've been listening to the new album a lot, and so I knew that, especially with the song Girl Band, I better have my shit together before I walk in the door.
Awesome.
Because, as a matter of fact, I was going to say, you guys should send that to everybody who interviews you, just kind of like, okay, here it is. But
That's
anyway,
a good idea.
yeah. Speaking of which, obviously, you kicked out a new album in November.
Yeah.
You're on a tour for that album right now. So, that album in particular, I've been a fan of the band now since you started off, and of course during the Girl in a Coma days too, which is where I got to know Jen and Fanny very well through the music. So I wanted to find out the whole experience of Thea, especially with the move into the new album and working with Alice Bagg in the studio. Do you have any particular thoughts or recollections on that you'd like to share?
You said a mouthful. Where should we start? Either the recording or just the evolution of. I guess I'll start with the evolution of Thea.
Jumble it.
Yeah, that's okay. Bonnie and I wanted to start a group that, we've always been such fans of, women in the Riot Girl movement. Those groups really inspired us to want to start a band. And when we had Bonnie's younger sister join us, she did adore that music too, but her voice was different. Her songwriting was different. It was more dynamic and, and for what it was, and is maybe, it's just amazing, and it's in its own category now. But we still have that itch to want to do the kind of music that we've always wanted to do. So after going through some members, finding the right members, it's kind of our dream band, and we get to do this punk rock with a little diversity, but also just the whole thing is fun. There is no overthinking in Thea, and if we can inspire other females the way they inspired us for the new generation, then cool. We're knocking it all out. It's a full circle, and it's fantastic. But Fanny, you want to talk about?
Yeah, we wanted the band to originally be all female, and it was hard to get a really good player that could already. I guess we wanted someone who got our level, since we had already been doing it for a while. And
we were so hard on Letty when we first got Letty, because
I didn't realize how hard we were being, but we were being pretty fucking get to this level now.
Yeah, we rushed her hey, we're already there, come on, join us real fast.
Come from a small town. Suddenly they throw me out there into the world.
Yeah, that's what we were looking for too, to get a guitar player that was able to do that. And finally, we found Sophie. We had to go through people to get there, and someone who got what we were doing and was doing it for a purpose, not just there because, I'm just a hired gun and I'm here to do this and I can play. I'm actually understanding the purpose of the band. And naturally, we gravitated to Alice Bagg, because on the first record, we worked with Lori Barbero and Laura Jane Grace, and they were all amazing. But Alice was more of a teacher, more of I'm going to yank some shit out of you and you're going to have to do it this way, and force me to try new stuff. I never played with a click track, ever. I was always anti-click tracks. I'm more I want to feel the music and go with the wave, however we're doing it. And she forced me and tricked me into playing on a click track, and I still love the way it came out. You know
what though? I will say for the first album and working with different producers, we worked with Lori Barbero from Babes in Toyland, who inspired us to want to even start a group. Mm-hmm. And working with her was more she was just so proud. And I think that's exactly what we needed as a group, is a producer to be I'm so proud of you and great job. Then the next level was Laura Jane Grace, who was I fucking dig it, but let's do some changes and let's try this. and it was badass. And then the next level was Alice Bag, who said, no, like, let's try a whole rearrangement, which we were, because it was her and her, like, we were, I don't know, we have a really good friendship too. So we're like, all right, like, we just felt like that relationship when it comes to working in the studio was going to be the perfect fit for.
Yeah, we
for
went
the
through
new
everything.
album.
I mean, we fought and got upset and cried and then had yay, everything that you can go through. We went through it, and in a short amount of time making the record, and we're very proud at the end results, and it's doing great again. And we're out here, and the shows have been great. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that led me to another question, because when you talk about what Alice Bag brought to the party, I kept thinking, I knew the first album really well, and loved the musicianship in it. Fell in love with your voice in the first album.
Thank you.
And then to listen to Alice Bag's production on it, my first thought was she took the existing strengths and really enhanced them.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find out if that's what you thought about it, or
Yeah.
All right.
Well, on the first album, so I don't like being told what to do, and so naturally, she's very much like a teacher. So I would resist at first, or I would feel like, I guess, frustrated to try again and again and again. But then at the end, I heard what she brought out of me, which is what Fonnie was saying. Like, she just kind of yanks it out of you. I know it's in there, and I was like, oh shit, I can do that with my voice, which I kind of knew I could, but I wasn't maybe as confident. And she kind of just made me do it again and again and again until I really just let go. And then for the second album, and I loved her for it. Like, it's like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Stand and Deliver. I always compare it to that. And singing was calculus to me. But so on the second album, I was really excited to work with her again. I learned since I've been with since I've worked with her the first time around, and yeah, it flowed really nicely. And she was like, yeah, you have grown. And I mean, she didn't pick on me as much this time around. I guess I took everything she learned and I applied it, and I still do.
Yeah.
And it's just so great working with her. We love her so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were like, oh, like, Sophie's going to see. We're throwing her into because we already worked with Alice. We're like, how's this going to work? And Sophie was just like,
she
pro.
nailed everything.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, Alice was like, I can't really, there's really not too much for me to do.
Well,
I think she had her try different tones. That was probably the extent
different
of
pedals and effects.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listening to the guitar work on that, I mean, it's again, obviously there's been an evolution of guitarists, through the band.
Yeah.
But to listen to what you brought to the party, guitar-wise on that particular album, there is a lot of difference, from the first album.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
there's a lot more particular guitar work that I like. Let's see. Of course, I lost my notes. But anyway, no, there are 2 or 3 tracks on the album that I just caught myself listening to over and over again, just to catch some of those, really fine little bits of guitar work all the way through. So because we're thinking about you right now, Sophie. What is it like to audition for a band on social media?
That was interesting for sure, because like the video that they put up was like one of like the first like 3 that I recorded,
Yeah.
and of course I had no makeup on, and I was just like, but then I was so tired of it, and then everything I just started overthinking everything, and then it just didn't. I'm like, no, I think it was either the second or third, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send that one, and then Jen was like, can we put it on Facebook, and I'm like.
Yeah, we did a thing where like, what do you
For
guys
those
think?
that understand, this is all recorded. You should really see the look on her face right now.
I was like, okay, and I was like, I'm like, it's more about the guitar playing. He's like, it's not about your face, it's about the guitar playing, like, so like I had to kind of like psych myself out for that one. So, but it was fun to follow along. I followed along with the other guitar players that auditioned too, so it was interesting. And
yeah,
I think
but you
it's
also
smart too.
You also have a get out of jail free card because you're auditioning for a band called Fea.
So you wouldn't,
It didn't matter.
We're
Didn't
not
matter.
supposed-
Like,
we're
yeah.
not supposed to care, but naturally.
Yeah, we're still girls.
No, like we had some of the songs that we were working on there was already kind of a guitar foundation, and like Sophie just fucking fixed it up perfect, and we were like, okay, great,
Yeah, when we
moving
saw
on.
the video,
like,
like she's got
no
the
stress.
strumming down. She's just attacking it perfect, and we could already tell that she was going to be able to write too. And then she's already experienced. She's already trained. She's already
She's
traveled.
teaching us stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like she's got it.
I'm a
This
nerd.
makes sense.
Well, this your followers' reactions.
Yeah, that
all
too.
told the story as well.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah, for
was
sure.
like, "There she
That's
is."
cool.
That's her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her. Yeah.
Don't fuck it up, girls.
And so since then, it hasn't stopped, from what I can tell. I mean, there, of course, Iggy Pop has sung you guys praises at least
Yeah.
twice now that I'm aware
Yes,
of.
yeah.
You just played with Joan Jett recently?
We're going to.
yeah, we're
Oh,
going to.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
That's the girls' first time. We opened up, I think, like 3 or 4 times with Girl in the Coma, but this is gonna be cool for them to experience playing with her, and she's always a sweetheart and makes you comfortable even at.
It's
those
like a
kind
different
of
level. It's like,
levels.
okay, first of all, like meeting her is amazing. Second, hearing her feedback. Third, sharing the stage with her is like a whole other level, because it's like you kind of feel like, well, we always feel like family, but we're sharing the stage together.
They make you feel like you
Yeah,
are
like-
in the family. And another fact is this is her first time seeing us live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
John. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
My
loved-
stomach
she's
just
been-
flipped. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, let's add pressure. I forgot. It's the first time.
She's loved
I guess.
listening to us recorded, and Feminazi is one of her favorites. She started using it as her intro
Nice.
during one of her tours when she was touring with The Hard. I think I don't remember which show it was, but she this is her first.
It's
time
gonna be
seeing
fun.
us.
She's gonna be on the side stage. She's gonna do her. She does this. I know you
Yeah,
can't
where
see
you know
this
the-
recorded, but she does this like
hands.
hand on the hip and kind of like analyzing everything, jamming out.
Yeah.
And like I just can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Like I can't wait for her to just shower the girls with compliments, and
Yeah.
it's gonna feel really good. So
Exciting.
That show is like scary because it's the first time my dad has ever seen me perform.
oh really? Your Dad's
Ever.
coming?
Oh
Is that
shit!
right?
Wow.
And like, yeah, and then Joan Jett was just like the same thing.
That's
So
awesome.
like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
but just like two figures that I look up to for the first
Watching you
time.
for the first
So like, yeah, I'm gonna puke or something.
Oh, wait, no.
before.
Oh, that's
It'll be
okay.
fun.
You're earning serious dad points for that night. So
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
a problem. So thinking about the new album and the writing that went into it,
Mhm.
are there any particular favorite tracks? I mean, we're going to go to Pella Suelto in a moment. Just I know.
Oh, yeah.
I love Gloria Trevi. Because you guys turned me on to her.
Oh,
So,
badass.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So beyond that, as far as the tracks that were written for this,
Yeah.
do you have a favorite? Is there anyone that really?
Just go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go down.
We'll start with you.
I think "Let Me Down" is really special. It's so much fun. I love all the harmonizing we do.
Yes.
I love the message. And it's a fun song too. So there's a message, but it's really
the
rock and roll.
The message just fucking applies, especially
It's
right
today.
now.
Yes.
And I think that we did a good job, just sending that message out with like really pretty harmonies and hooky choruses and it kind of like has a little bit of like 70s punk, just kind of mwah in there. So it's one of my favorites.
So
I'm gonna have to say girl band because as a female guitar player, we get a lot of shit. So there's little things that I do on stage during girl band that like kind of like I kind of show off a little bit, like 'cause some people could just play guitar so basic, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna, as Jen says, razzle dazzle them
Razzle dazzle.
during that particular song. There's like, certain parts I do. It's very subtle, like you have to be a guitar player and you have to be like looking at me at certain points and be like, oh, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? But the message there is really important, because it's 2020. We're slowly starting to see a change, but, female groups are still being stereotyped and like,
Yeah, I
certain
think
things are
we
still
played
being
girl
said.
band. I think we walked off
Yeah.
stage and still got the like y'all are pretty good for a
Or
girl band.
you know.
After playing, yeah, still
So,
happen.
yeah, those little baby comments here and there, you know. So, but and eventually, you know, like the term like, oh, you do this like a girl is not going to be like insulting. You know what I'm saying? So eventually,
I forgot to tell you all, and I guess now I'll tell you all.
Sure.
Last night when we were at that venue, this dude was just like, "Hey, come here real quick," and I was like, "What's up?" And he's just like, "What's your band's name?" And I said, "Fea," and he's like, "What's that?" And so I was like, "My band's name." And then he's like, "Oh, right on. How can I find you on social media?" And I didn't recognize him because there was like 3 people at that show. No, there's more than that. But so I was like, "Okay, did you watch us?" I'm just curious. It's just like, "No, but I realize it's a chick band, so it's worth checking out." And I was like, "I don't know how to like that's it's just like
God.
a weird thing to hear."
Yeah, and it's
Like,
still happening.
okay, well, I was like, "Well,
It's
here, check it out. Maybe you'll like the music, of course. Like music is you know, everyone's invited."
Oh, y'all are a chick band. I guess your music can sound good to douchebags like me too, huh?
Yeah, so I don't really know what to say. It's like,
yeah. it's
okay.
Well, we've already talked about it on the story. We're just waiting for like one of those quarter machines with the mustache so that we could do the whole parody of like what is commonly said and like you know we always take everything with with humor.
Oh,
That's how you.
Yeah.
If
You
you
have
really
to.
let it get to you, you're just gonna be a bitter fucking bitch, and like people are not gonna listen to you because you're so goddamn bitter. But if you add humor to it, people are gonna get like
You'll start
they're just
developing
like
a
me,
wall
and I
be
understand what they're
defensive. You just
saying,
sort of like-
So
It's it is what it is, and eventually you just kind of like you'll learn, son, and then you
Yeah.
just carry
Yeah.
on.
you learn,
Yeah.
kiddo.
Yeah.
We just play badass, and then their balls fall off.
And some of the other bands I've gotten to talk to have talked about the same kind of problems.
Yeah.
Like War on Women. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of their songs is called YouTube comments. And
Oh, that's
all
weird.
about
Oh,
the
shit.
That's
trash
another
that
big
people
one.
say on YouTube.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
feminazi song, we totally got attacked to the point that they were even like,
But they didn't.
we are unfollowing Joan if she
Oh,
supports
yeah.
They
us."
didn't listen to the song because if they listened to it, they would understand that it's simplicity and just saying equality. Like
Right.
they
Yeah.
just already like feminazi, like these fucking
Yeah.
chicks.
It's the
It's like,
people that read the headlines on articles and go, "Oh, I know what it says," and they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, but I think Joan had shared it on her Facebook, and
Yeah, she did. She
All
put the
these-
video.
MRAs were like unfollowing. Oh, you really let me down, and stuff like that. You know that she was.
Crazy.
that's probably a
not
good thing.
song,
Though.
but oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
not to
It's
be
a great
missed.
song. Yeah, I played the shit out of it on radio frequency gold.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Oh yeah, well, back to favorite songs. Mine is "Itch." Not only is it fun to play live, it's one of those songs that came together. Always the ones that we are like, we need another song, and we're trying to finish the record. And I think that we tend to work the best under pressure, and that one just came together. Jen came with a bass line, and Sophie wrote her line. Everything just like boom, 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 got it, good, and it became one of our favorites. And then one of the ones we shot a video for. So
And almost like because I've had my musician friends, guys or girls, whatever. They'll recognize Itch because they get it. They're like, oh, I feel the same way. I can't wait to get on the road.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of this fun anthem for us musicians that really adore being
touring.
road dogs. So.
Yeah, I've gotten that from people on the road. Like, I know that feeling, and it's like they're wanting to be home, but then not. But it's so
Yeah.
dirty and grimy, but you still fucking love it. It's the
Yeah.
same. And you?
My song, I'll choose Spaz because, well, it's a simple message. And Letty's just talking about minds being everywhere, which everybody can relate to. But the music in that song is just so fun to play live. And like Sophie said, razzle dazzle. It's kind of a razzle dazzle on the bass. And I love to see like it's a bro that fucking plays bass and he's looking and he's like, oh fuck.
What
And
pedals
now
are
I'm gonna
those?
check out her pedals and like
Yeah.
it's just, but it's a fun song for sure. That's probably one of my favorites. The whole album is amazing and it's upbeat and it's a great workout album too. Like if you're like running
I did
or
use-
at the
use
gym,
it.
it's just like constant upbeat fun and yeah, we're super proud of it and it makes a great podium step up to like, okay, what are we gonna do next? Like, that album was great too.
I'm actually
like,
excited to see where we go from here.
Speaking of which, any ideas, any directions? Are you right now focused on
No,
this tour and
we're
we're going to figure
focusing
it
on
out?
touring.
Yeah,
Like, we have some cool stuff coming up. We have the Subhuman store coming again. We're going out with them again. And we have the show with Joan, and then we're doing punk rock bowling, and we're going out to the west. So we have a lot of stuff that I think it's good for us to stay focused on right now.
but I think we want to because
Yeah.
when we were at home and we were just kind of doing home life stuff, it's like I kind of want to write right now, but then it's like but then you know, life shit gets in the way. But I just know when it comes time, I don't think it's going to be much of a. I'm sorry, I don't know about you, Letty. I know it's hard writing lyrics, but I don't feel like it's going to be much of a writer's block. It's going to be like, oh, cool,
Well,
we get to write again.
let me just tell you that after I write any song, first of all, like I come out of it like, what just happened? I blacked out. I don't remember how this happened. I don't know how I came up with this. I could have multiple personalities, but I don't know. I just cannot recall. But like then I freak out like a little bit internally. I'm just like, what if I run out of words? What if this is the last song I write? I'm like, oh shit. And I can't imagine writing another song. And then I write another song. I'm like, oh yeah. But then like it's so
It's
funny.
amazing.
It's a thing.
Same
Thing
thing
for
for
me.
you. It is.
Y'all, like,
Yeah.
What if I run out of things to
It's
say?
probably like the
Impossible.
super same thing for you.
So
Stop
spaz, spaz.
You just saw me spaz.
Yeah, believe me, I
You
I
witnessed
listened to that and I kept thinking, wow, this song is so autobiographical. You know, especially 2, 4, 6, 8 projects
Started
Yeah,
late.
started
Yeah.
late. And it's like, oh, this is me right there. So,
Yeah.
I love that.
But it's like 3 a.m. and I'm just like, I think I'm gonna pick up a new hobby, like right now. And then I pass out 20 minutes later. Like
And so then probably the songs that don't get talked about very much are the ones where you're actually singing Spanish.
okay.
Of course, we talked about Pele Suelto, which, again, I fell in love with. And that was because of the interview y'all did with NPR, the Alt Latino interview. And so, that conned me to go out there and listen. So I listened to it and fell in love. And it's like, it's something to record. And I think a couple of gigs you were at, I kept saying, are you going to record it? Are you going to? And so,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it
I
was great
remember.
to hear it. But, so you have that, which, I love, and, I'm still digging into Gloria Trevi as a result. What about Verde? Or Merde, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like Mary.
that
Nerd?
is
Is it?
Well, it's what,
Okay.
Med?
it's
Yeah.
it's French for
Yeah,
shit.
right.
that
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that is.
I think
one
that's
was
one of our favorites too.
It's- yeah.
yeah,
It
Play
was
for
so-
sure. Yeah,
it
it's
is.
so much
it was
to
fun
play.
to write because it's one of those stages you go through like after a breakup when it's like the anger period, and so I just thought, what's angrier than Spanish? Like when you like cuss someone out in Spanish, it just feels so good. So I did that, but then the chorus goes into some like really soft, like pretty sounding stuff. So then I thought, well, French is beautiful, and I always wanted to write in French. And then I was listening to a lot of French pop, so I was inspired by that. So that was just a lot of fun to write altogether. Just learning to write, like to tell someone off in French is pretty fun because making it sound pretty, so it's ironic,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well, no, that was it. I mean, the production on it is gorgeous. It's a beautiful sounding song all the way through, and everybody immediately catches on to the vocal harmonies and Let Me Down. But
Yeah.
I was listening to the harmonies in that. Wow, those are really
Yeah.
nice.
She did
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie
Yeah.
and her golden voice. That's pretty awesome. Like when I had a little phone interview with Sophie before we even got started, and I was like, "Well, do you speak Spanish?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, badass, cool. All right, well, do you sing?" "Yeah, I can sing." "Oh, cool." Yeah, everything was just falling into place. Where we're like, "Oh, this is like what a dream person that we wanted to meet." When we first started. And
Well, I remember after the conversation, Jen came to me and was like, I just talked to the new girl. She's perfect.
she's
We
in.
had a great
She's the one.
conversation. She's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
She
It was
called
like,
me and did
I-
the same thing.
Yeah. We all got the lowdown.
One of the funnier questions was like, "How old are you?" Like you sounded so concerned.
Yeah, because she looked so young, and
Yeah.
we had a
we're
guitar
worried.
player, the middle guitar player. He was 23, and not, although we can probably outdrink, out hang this 23-year-old guy, but at the same time, it's kind of like do we want you? Like, so I was like, yeah, how old are you? And then she's like, what was it, like 28? 28. And we're like, oh, perfect. All right,
and
cool.
she's in his 30s. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had someone that wanted to audition that was like 19 or 20 years old, and I just I wasn't comfortable with like, just because it's tough touring, and then it's a lot of responsibility, and I don't,
It's a lot of teaching too. Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, because I was a
especially
total
that young,
ass when I was 20. I'm still like slightly one, but like when I was 20, that was bad. So no.
Timo, you got anything?
Yeah, I was actually curious. You guys heavily influenced by punk in the 70s. My one question, I hope this isn't too deadly serious for you. How does it feel now with the stuff you guys are putting out to understand that that's going to be you for a lot of these people? Looking up at you and I told you I got your music originally from Dan a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. And then when I saw you live, I was blown away. And so my question to you is, how does it feel to know that you guys are going to be on that pedestal now, and it's you that people are looking up to?
We try not to overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, y'all are fine. Do you want to prep your guitar?
Yeah, come in.
Yeah,
Come on in. It's okay.
Oh, it's okay. We can pause.
It's okay. No worries.
Yeah, put it in here so it's safe.
Yeah. You're all good.
We'll edit all this part out.
Yeah.
It's okay. All good. It's all good.
That way you can chill.
Yeah.
We can also think about that question.
Yeah,
No, no
no
problem.
That's super
I don't think we try to overthink that. We know, like, well, in Girl in a Coma, Fonnie and I knew, well, we were just being a female group already is a lot. If you're a female group with like super strong beliefs, okay, well, that's like next level shit and whatever. But just being is very important. I think with Bea, like, I don't think we think about, like, what if we're role models for young girls? Like, we're learning as we go too, just like every other female group that has, they probably would have done things differently or said things. Like, I think it's better to just not overthink that part and
I think we just stay present.
right.
And then whatever happens, great.
And humble and nice, and we talk to other female musicians, and this is, or anybody really. I don't think that's something to focus on. I think it will naturally happen, and when it does, and we get those thank yous, like, that's just kind of the cherry on the the cake. That's great. Thank you. I'm glad that we did that for you.
It's a great feeling, though. I mean, when someone like says like, "Oh, you inspired me to do this," or like,
Totally.
I want to do this because of y'all. Like, it's part of like what we're here to do.
I think like
endearing,
a lot of bands that I looked up to helped shape me too. So if your parents or whoever that raises you up until a certain point, and then you start being influenced by your environment, anyone around you, and things like that. And so I feel like because I got so deep into music and punk rock from the 70s and other bands and stuff looking around it, but I think that kind of shaped who I became and who I still want to be. Like, I think it is important. Now, I don't think like, oh, I'm hot shit, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be up at the top. No, but if y'all think that we could be that for other people, and other people say that we could be those, that kind of influence for other people, that's super special, and that makes me really happy and humble to to know that.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, and two, we wrote a song about like who we are. Like, we're not that cliche female group. Like, don't do that to us. But no, it's like we're not a novelty group. Which a lot of either like whether it be promoters or whatever, like, oh, all female groups tonight or whatever.
But as a band,
as musicians, we are very cliche. Like, we definitely do things. Party, oh yeah, drink. Like, it's part of the lifestyle, and it is there, and it's how we choose to use our level of, or we have to be like responsible to, like, but it is a part of our lifestyle that's enjoyable. To get to go on the road, to meet people, to relax, have drinks, and just enjoy life. We're not in an office 9 to 5. This is what our sacrifices, and these are the benefits and rewards, and like, but we tend to be a little cliche sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, like there's humor in our music, so we like to just show that part
Yeah.
of us. We make fun of ourselves,
Totally.
Definitely.
so we stay on the ground.
I think that's one of the best things that people can have is the ability to make fun of themselves.
Always. You
I,
have to.
I
Yeah.
really respect that.
You have to.
The van is like the show, like we're just constantly roasting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't
I don't
just
think we
do
ever get
anything or
serious.
say anything because we know there's gonna be a
Unless
roast
we're
session
drunk and
after.
emotional, but other than that,
Yeah.
we just constantly.
Like when we
make fun
talk
of
to
each other.
significant others, it's all quiet. It's like, okay, yeah, I love you too. Okay.
Oh yeah, or
Uh,
when they ask you to
yeah,
send
you
us
can't really
selfies.
talk right now because I'm gonna get picked on.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Can we FaceTime? Like, I'm not right now. I'm looking around people.
I'm sitting next to Jen. I don't
Yeah.
wanna- yeah.
So it embarrassed me in front of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I got one more, not even follow-up question. I've asked this with Dan to all of the bands that we've interviewed. We've gotten some interesting answers. For all the time you've been touring, it could be with Faya or anything before.
Mhm.
What's one of the craziest things you guys have seen happen at your shows, around your shows, during your shows? Funny, stupid, silly, anything. Just something you're like, oh my God, this was, can you believe that?
Oh my gosh, the
Almost.
last election.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
The
Yeah.
last election was
Yeah.
pretty. We were in Desert Palm, California.
Yeah.
Palm Desert.
Palm Desert.
Yeah.
My
Same
bad.
difference.
And yeah, so that was the night of the elections there, and we were about
Trump
to
won
play.
that night.
Trump
First
won,
time.
and then all right, now here's Faya, and so that was weird. There was really weird energy at the
Well, it
bar.
went from a punk rock crowd, and then they were showing the results to like it switched.
And it was people like, yeah, and it was automatic
Trump.
racism that had happened then and there. It was like
Wow.
the guy
It
was being
switched like that.
complete douchebags and like,
Yeah.
you Mexicans can't take a joke. All kinds of shit went down.
There was this man
And
that
it
was
was
picking
like-
on these girls and making fun of them, and then Jen stepped in and kind of defended them, and then I stepped in too, and then he said something super like gross, like, "Ooh, you're sexy when you get mad." So
Yeah.
then I pushed him, and he fell to the ground, and I had to go hide in the van.
Yeah, it was like automatic weird.
but
as
it
he's
was-
enjoying this like,
he was
You
having
know, a
fun
Latin
rubbing it in our
beer.
faces
Yeah.
that Trump won, and
well,
then
like look what you're drinking, dude. Like, and you're all he's the one that got on the stool and was like, yeah, Trump, and I was like, get down. Like you can't
and
do
he was
that.
drinking a Mexican beer, is what he was drinking.
Oh.
Yeah, I was drinking like a Tecate or something.
like randomly, yeah. And then so the rest of that tour that was kind of weird because we were even like in LA and suddenly there was like a lot of racism, like just
Everything just
Happening.
popped
Yeah,
out.
like
Yeah,
move
all
over
this
bags
shit.
or like what the
Yeah,
there
hell?
was, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff
a lot
like
of
that.
that
Like
started-
what the hell just happened, man?
So-
like this is
The rest of that tour was really weird and a little bit uncomfortable.
right. And then I guess what else is weird? Well, probably not for bands. It's probably typical for a couple members to always throw down or something. But Fonnie and I will usually have like a physical fight once a tour, and
Yes.
that's probably entertaining for the girls.
We've seen
I
a
wait
lot of
for
shit,
it.
Paranoid,
Oh,
but
I
our
wait
fights
for
are
it.
very entertaining.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
I have taught Sophie to keep her phone ready.
We've known each other over 20 years, and like it just we just
I'm a man.
bicker like a married couple of even though
Yeah,
we're best
like
friends.
I guess
and
like
so-
one of our favorites is the fight in Bakersfield, where all of us were like, "Oh, you know, let's just go hard. We have a day off. I think maybe I don't really know
I
why
don't
we
even
did
know
it.
we did.
We
We
were
did
on
it.
our way
We
to
did.
Vans out
Yeah.
weren't we?
We Vans Warped
Yeah,
Tour the
was
next
the-
day.
Oh, never mind.
Day.
Okay, never mind.
Wow.
What's our problem? Anyway, maybe the environment. You know, we were just. Oh, you know what? It was your cousin. Your
Yeah,
cousin.
we're gonna blame it on my
So-
cousins.
Yeah,
Sophie's
we'll-
cousin was there, constantly with a tray of shots. And
Trey.
I remember just
Fireball.
walking by and thank you. Oh, walking by again, thank you. Anyway, all of us got pretty crazy, and we're Letty was falling on the floor in the streets of Bakersfield, and like we're
Jen
like,
and
get
I
a man.
fought in grass and sprinklers.
Like yeah, Bonnie was pressing my buttons. I just pulled over in some grass and just
Me too,
grabbed
yeah.
her head and threw her out.
She pulled me out of the van and threw me
Yeah,
to
we were
garage.
just like, we go for the head, like, or like
don't
the
know
top
why
of the
we do
head. Yeah.
Do we try to make knots? It's like a
So
thing.
we
Y'all
had
are
this
forgetting
physical
everything.
fight.
I know, never what?
That's probably why I'm so forgetful. Anyway, so then, we fought, and then we're like, let's go to the gas station for snacks, and then all of a sudden we're hugging. Good fight. and it's just these fights get so elevated, and then they're like the next day is like nothing.
They're best friends usually right
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
But there's
really
a lot of
awesome
stories.
fights. Yeah,
This
there's
is
lots of
probably-
fights, lots of weird situations.
Do you have a
we've been in.
cool something?
Well, it was it was cool, but it's crazy, and I was a little scared too. It was it was during the Punkmas tour when we were at Neon Rose. You know what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so
Blank.
at the end of the show, she was having sound issues with her bass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so she was getting mad, and I thought she was getting mad because of something else, because I could have sworn I saw you like hit one of her crash cymbals,
Yeah.
and like at some point I saw like her cymbal kind of go this way, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then after the very last show, she did the what's
She
that album by the
smashed her-
Clash? Like
Yeah.
she just like
Let me
She
Oh!
totally.
Except nobody got a picture of it.
no one got a video.
Everybody-
no one got a picture.
Everybody
It's
was
never gonna
freaked
happen
out.
again.
I've
And
never
I was
seen
just
Jen
like,
in
what
all of the career we played
what
together
was happening?
smash a
It's
bass.
probably Fonnie and I bickering at each
We
other
were
on
bickering.
stage. So I was like, kind of hitting her cymbal, like, shut up. And
But
this
there was
this bass that I was using,
that's
it was like this
sound
Epiphone
issue.
bass, and the head just popped off. And then I was like, well, fuck it,
Yeah.
I might as well just like,
Go for it.
yeah.
But she was
And-
coming at me, and I was like, "Oh
I
hell
know,
no!
it was
You're not
close.
gonna hit my guitar."
So she started
Run away.
smashing it. But what happened was I would think someone would have captured that, but
I
it turned
know.
into like everyone
Awkwardness.
just like, oh, what the fuck
Like
is
we always say,
happening?
it's that meme of like that young girl that's always like,
the little girl with the
what?
teeth. That's
Like,
like,
yeah.
like she's
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
That was
Yeah.
definitely the craziest
going
thing.
down.
Craziest thing.
Fun
But those are the
times.
tops. Yeah. for
almost
sure.
getting robbed. Yeah, that's another
Almost
one.
got
of those.
carjacked. So those are all the negative things. But we've done a lot of cool. We've done a lot of cool shit too. I mean, we played in front of Dave Grohl, and I don't know. Jen and I played in front of 500,000 people. That's fucking nuts. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool things we got to experience, and I think there's a lot of cool things to come.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to hearing about those in the future as well.
Oh,
Yes.
they're coming.
We shall do this
More
again.
fights.
More
Absolutely.
fights for
Of
sure.
course.
All right. Well, thank you all for taking the time to sit down with us.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
guys. Yes.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
It's been great to hear these stories.
Hey, and-
Next time
and-
we're in town, we'll share
Yeah,
some
and
more.
thanks for
Yeah.
listening and analyzing.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we
for sure.
appreciate that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, I totally loved it. But the band is Faya, and they are on tour. So you can find them online. You can find their tour dates. You should go. Catch their shows. Buy their merch. Better yet, buy their music too.
Now you should go. You will go. Go.
Exactly.
Very
Buy a
good.
ticket now. Go.
Put on a fun show.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.